This is our house, which we are renovating to make our home. My name is Orion, this is Jess and Benji, and Lilia has officially turned 8 weeks old. Since birth, we have ripped this house apart, rewired it, did some plumbing, and moved in the space of approximately a month. So if you're interested in learning how to do things around the house, DIY, renovation, all the above, then make sure you hit subscribe to follow along every single Wednesday and Sunday to see us turn this house into a home. Today, we have got lots going on and lots to talk about. And I did promise a family day out. So we're going to do that sort of because we're missing Benjamin today. And that's because when I planned to go out, the skies weren't quite blue and the sun definitely wasn't shining. Because there has been a storm in England, as you can hear. And silly me left my car in the paddock, so it's now a complete mud bath. Not good at all, but we are jumping on the opportunity that the skies are blue today, even though it is a bit windy, and we're going to go out and about. I'm going to show you a couple of things and talk about the plans for this room, because seemingly out of nowhere we have the funds to start work in this room. However, we will not be able to do it completely beginning to end. So we're going to do a bit of it. The main job I want to tackle in here is the floor. This needs to be ripped up so I can actually box this whole section in here, and we're going to tile it. Those tiles will continue into the pantry, which has the old flooring on it, and they will run straight into the boot room, because hopefully in the future this door won't exist, so it will be a straight run through, so tiling all the way through into this room. Now, as I've mentioned in previous vlogs, this is a cold room, so this window needs to change as well as this door. Now, as far as I'm aware, my dad said that he booked someone in to change those, so fingers crossed that happens, because it will obviously, if I take this door off and I don't change anything else in here, the cold will run into the house and then it kind of defeats the point. So this door will stay here for now, but what I can do is get the tiles down. As later on, I may very well run a stud wall all the way across here with a new door there to go into my office. So it becomes a little cubby hole, if you will. It looks quite small, but I've measured it all out and it should work just fine. So we'll have like the utility out here that you can kind of walk straight into from the kitchen, and then my office in here as well. I might not actually do the stud wall, I haven't really decided, but if I've got the floors done in here, I don't have to worry about doing it in the future, and I don't really mind having my desk on a tiled floor. There's no point like tiling half this room and then the rest, because if I change my mind at any point, this can then turn into an actual boot room where you can hang up your coats, take off your shoes and all that kind of stuff, and the floor's tiled it's good for that. So today we need to go have a look at some flooring as well as a new countertop to go here. We have decided to go with a wooden one. Whether that is a good idea or not, we haven't yet decided. We're just gonna have a look and kind of gauge the price difference, because obviously a solid wooden kitchen top is more expensive than like this, which is like a laminate one. So we could get a wood effect on laminate, which would be easier to maintain and clean and stuff like that. It's not going to get chipped like crazy when we use a wooden one, which would happen. So we're going to have a look and kind of make up our minds there and then compare it to the floor and that kind of stuff, because we don't really know what colour to get the floor either yet. We're just kind of winging it. But with the floor done and the kitchen worktop done, it means that this can be boxed in and tidied away. We can also get our hob back in the top of the worktop, as well as a new sink here. Then the only thing that's really left to do in this room is add cabinets, whether it be on the wall, as well as the tall boy at the end that we want to put the oven into. However, they are quite expensive and we're kind of doing it bit by bit, but this is the main thing that needs to change. We can add this later on and it won't be that difficult to do. However, for those who didn't know, me and Jess did actually get engaged last year, and we have our eyes on somewhere we want to get married. So let's go check it out. Welcome to Bron Castle. And no, before you think it, we're not getting married in a castle. But let's be honest, that would be pretty cool. There is indeed a lovely church here. However, I'm unsure if it's actually open, but there's only one way to find out. And the survey says, yeah, no. Unfortunately not. However, there is a notice board outside, which gives us a good idea of pricing and stuff like that, because we might get Lilia christened here as well. And just below that, it says Sunday services usually at 11 a.m. But for any other reason, if you wanted to access the church, have a look around, stuff like that, then there's 2 contact numbers. Normally, it's open from Easter to the end of September, so I think we've come a little bit early. Which is a shame, because I'd love to have a look around in there. For now, we'll just have to admire the architecture from the outside. And I have to say, it is a stunning church. I don't know about going all the way up there, though. Can't say I'm a huge fan of heights, but yeah, you definitely won't catch me climbing a ladder to the top of a church. Unfortunately, the castle is also closed. I cannot wait for more blue skies and better weather. Start exploring these places. I know people have been asking for it, and trust me, we are dying to get out and again because I feel like I've been cooped up inside for too long. Ooh, that's interesting. Look at that. It's a barn that's been converted into toilets. Like everything else here, it is most likely locked, but I'm going to have I never thought I'd say this, but I'm going to have a nose at some toilets. But oh, yeah, okay. This one's locked as well. Not overly surprising as it is still January and it does say closed on the front gate. Interesting though, I definitely want to go check that out in the future, which is still bizarre. But as we are converting a barn into a toilet block, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a look around. I'm not sure you're going to make it over there. I literally can't see it. By the way, this is not her fault. I may have not dropped Lily's hat in the water in a puddle, so it's a bit soaked. So she's wearing this headband, which she made herself. It just looks so funny. And speaking of Jess making things, she actually plans on starting a business, which is another thing that we're going to have a look around and check out today to do some bit more investigation, because Jess always has these like wonderful ideas of things that she can craft and make and do, and she is like the ideas girl. However, she never really follows through with stuff, but she is dead serious about this one, so we'll see how it unfolds. Wow, you can tell there's been a storm, as that over there is not a lake. And this is not a pond. These are fields that are completely flooded. Over Christmas, or just before Christmas, we had a storm. We've actually witnessed quite a few storms as we've lived here, but there's a storm that hit the house, and not only did it cause lots of water damage in the house, but it flooded the entire fields in front. It gets really bad. Speaking of which, the road is flooded. Hopefully we don't get stuck. I'm not in a 4x4, but I don't think it's that deep. Oh, this is fine. Oh, I thought we were gonna have to turn around. Next stop, Tops Tiles. And I have to say, I kind of like that style. Very nice. We are kind of budging it ourselves at around 20 quid per square metre, so let's see how we do, because we've got 25 square metre to cover, and that's quite expensive. But something like this isn't actually that bad. These are £15 per square metre. They are square, but yeah, not too bad. I'm not a huge fan of glossy tiles, so going for that matte look. Jess has actually found these like wooden style tiles, like they are porcelain tiles, but they've got this oak wood effect, and that's 19 quid per square metre. I do like that, to be fair. Unfortunately, however, there is only 5 packs, which is definitely not enough. Although these are growing me, this wood effect is quite nice. But, geez, that's £73 per square metre. I don't know about that one. Currently, we are torn between like this colour tile here and the wooden effect here, because I've actually found these, which are £19 per square metre, so get less for the look. They're quite nice, but I'm going to keep shopping around because I do get discounts at Wix and B&Q, so not always just going to go here. But the antique rustic wooden look is definitely growing on me. This is exactly why you need to shop around. 14 quid per square metre or 15 quid per square metre. Stuff like this is what we need to look for. It just obviously decreases the amount of range that we can choose from. We do have the option of matching our bathroom. As to do that, it costs us 16 quid per square metre, and they have plenty of tiles here, so we could just get the same tiles again. But I don't know, I'm not 100% sold on whether we should do that with the kitchen. There is obviously the option of like laminating the floor, which is what we've already got in there. But I would prefer it to be tile. Which is why the wood effect tile is quite appealing, because you get the effect of it being wood, but it's a little bit more hard wearing. And it is cheaper here to do it. So keeping all options open. Which is why I'm also checking out B&Q. Seems like the general price of tiling is going to be about 15 to 20 quid, which is what I kind of budgeted for anyway. But this is what I've actually come to look at. Some wooden worktops. Now this is a laminate one, which comes in at £90, which is the same price no matter what style you actually go for. However, if you want like a solid wooden top, it actually comes in a lot pricier. Over twice the price actually. And looking at the selection here, you don't get nearly as much choice on style. This is the only wooden worktop that they have here. I did see some more options online, but it gives me a better idea of how much it's actually going to cost me. Plus I can see it. I much prefer to feel, touch and see with my own eyes than kind of do it all online, so that's why I'm here. Actually, I take that back. There are 2 options. So this is like the dark wood, which is solid wood, and then this is slightly lighter. And I have to admit, I do like that a lot. Wait, I was told a lie. It's a laminate worktop. That dark one is most definitely wooden, but can't see it anywhere. So I have no idea how much that one costs. All the same, going off some calculations, to do what I want to do with the kitchen, to bring it up to the point I mentioned this morning, it's probably looking at about £500 to £700, depending on how much money I want to save, if I get cheaper tiles and so on and so forth. But when you add in like adhesive and grout and all the other bits and bobs, probably about £700, which is kind of what I was looking at anyway. Definitely something to think about. Now, before we go check out Jess's business idea, I actually need to go to Halfords, because one thing that we do need to buy is a new roof bar set for our car, because as I mentioned before, my tent box is just sitting outside, and all the money I spent on all the camping equipment and the tent box itself is utterly useless if I don't have roof bars, and mine broke. So let's go get some of those. This is what we've been told to get. It's called Fuel or Fool, or I don't know how you pronounce it. Definitely a big upgrade from like the 30 quid I spent on mine. If you ever buy a tent box for whatever reason from watching my videos and for that, do not buy the roof bars that they supply on their website. Awful. Downside is they come at quite a high price, and it looks like there's quite a few steps here, so I'm going to go do that and find out how much. £269.98 is how much I need to spend to get some roof bars. Rest in peace, my bank account. But new roof bars on the car, I'll take it. Right, well, the next place that I'm not visiting, but Jess is actually it's like a sewing shop that's like local to where we are, and she's going in there to ask some questions because she wants to get into embroidery. Now, over the years, Jess has had tons of hobbies. Everyone who's followed me for a while now will know that she's into crafting and all that kind of stuff. She's a bit apprehensive about committing to like this business idea, because she has a habit of picking stuff up and putting stuff down, and they only tend to last a few months and stuff like that. Like, she's really good at these crafting things, and she does crochet and all sorts of stuff. She's done so many different things, I couldn't even name them all, and they always last like 3 months, and then she puts them down. However, she is really determined that this time she's gonna go for like a proper business. So we've kind of put a budget of money aside for her to kickstart her business, opposed to her normal like hobby stuff where she just gets bits and bobs. She's got a lump sum to start her business and get her feet off the ground. And I said to her that she needs to properly put together like a business plan, do her research, which is why she's here speaking to this shop, to see if they have any advice or, you know, ideas and stuff like that. Because what she wants to do is, one thing she's always wanted to do, since Benjamin was born, is take his old baby clothes or like old memorable clothes and turn them into like repurpose the clothing for clothes that she could wear. So she could get like a hoodie where, like, you see on here I've got like essentials written across the front of mine. She'd take like, you know, the different baby grows and stuff like that and write, you know, mommy or whatever she wants to write on the t-shirts. It's quite a popular thing you see on crew necks and stuff. And there's I say the way she persuaded me, but the other upside to it is after your feedback, a lot of people really like the idea of a PO box, which we have ordered, and we're going to trial for 3 months and see how it goes. Just because on your feedback, I said I'd leave it up to you guys, and everyone overwhelming was like, yes, get a PO box. And the other thing that I was actually quite surprised at is people do want a Patreon as well. And then people also suggested merch. Now, I'm really apprehensive about getting into merch because I will only ever do it if it's like good quality stuff. But Jess is like, oh, I can make you some merch now because I do embroidery and stuff like that. So instead, what we're going to do is she's going to do her soft launch, and obviously I'll help promote her, and you can try some of her stuff if you like what she does, and we'll kind of go from there. But with the Patreon, one of like the steps, because I think it's like, I've never really used Patreon before, but Jess used to do cosplaying and she's a bit more familiar with it. I believe there's like different stages that you can like kind of subscribe to, and one of those stages could be like custom personalized like merch, for lack of a better term, where we would, you know, make t-shirts, or like, because I want a t-shirt that says subscribe across the front, or like some funny DIY Dave, those kind of ideas, just funny ideas I have. It'd be cool just to wear my own stuff rather than like wearing the wall, or like I'm wearing essentials right now. I like clothing. I have loads of clothes, as Jess would probably tell you. I have a lot of different clothes, and I do like my clothing. So yeah, that's why I'm like really apprehensive, because if I was to ever do my own t-shirts or merch or anything like that, Sorry, Lily's coughing in the background. I could just about see her in the reflection, but she's still asleep. As I was saying, I would like the stuff to be good quality. If I was to sell something, I would like to wear. I would want to wear it myself. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to. A good example is like band merch. Like I've seen loads of bands over the years, from like Blink-182 to Linkin Park to loads. And I always, well, not always, but sometimes I'll buy a t-shirt. And I can't remember what the brand of those t-shirts. It's like Gilded or something like that. I can't remember. But the prints are always really bad, for lack of a better term. They're cool prints, but you wash them once and they go like really, really bad. And the t-shirts aren't great quality either, nor the hoodies. So I don't really want to do stuff like that. And I've had a lot of companies reach out to me about like, oh, we want to work with you to do merch. And I've tried it once in the past years ago with streaming, and it didn't go well. And ever since then, I've just not done it again. But Jess is adamant that I should be making t-shirts and stuff like that. And as she wants to start a business, it kind of works hand in hand. Like, I'm not expecting to sell thousands and thousands of t-shirts. I'd be amazed if like even like 5 people brought one. Which is why the idea of doing it through Patreon first is kind of like a soft launch. If you guys are interested in like trying out some like essentially homemade t-shirts, because Jess would be making it herself, and see how it goes. And if it works, we build slowly but surely. Do you know what I mean? This is so kind of two-faced, if I know if that's the right word. I don't do things by half. If I'm going to do something, I do it right. But with businesses, you should start off small and build up, rather than like going in at the deep end and buying like an industrial level like embroidery machine, which can cost like £7,000. Like Jess has been doing her research, as I said. So I said, get a smaller one, like try it for a little bit, because she might hate it for all we know. It's highly unlikely, because she really does like doing her crafting things. But I said, we'll do it for a short period. Here's a lump sum, go for it, try it out. I say it as if I've given her the money. Like me and Jess put our money together. Not that my financial situation is that interesting, but we share all of our money, and she just got a really big bonus for her 2024 performance. So instead of being really boring and putting all that money on like the kitchen, or putting all of the money into like paying off debt and credit cards and stuff like that, I was like, you know what? You want to do your business, it's your money, you do your thing, because it gets a bit boring all the time being like, oh, we have to be sensible with our money, and like this, we have to put this in because we get this out and stuff like that. So I've kind of let her go loose, as I am. She calls me the financial director because she hates sorting money out, so I do it also. Yeah. Anyways, I digress. That's what she's going to try. I said she should vlog it and potentially make some short form content on it. So if you would like to watch that stuff, I'll make sure when she creates the channels that you can where to find her and stuff like that. But I'll wait till she gets back and see what she says. How did that go?
Yeah, good. He was very helpful.
Yeah?
Yes.
Looks like we have got, or at least made a step in the right direction. She has just spurted loads of information at me, and I've just spoken for like 6 minutes. So we'll save it for like Jess's side of like the vlogging and stuff, to let you know how that all process and all that goes. I want to clarify something very quickly, as I'm sure I may have either sounded condescending or controlling or something like that. And whilst Jess is here, just to make it clear, I'm not either of those things, am I?
Sometimes. No, he's not really.
No, but like, as I said, we do put all our money together and we discuss everything and go through it together. So it's not like, oh, Jess, you're allowed to have your money. That's just not how we work. We do everything together. I just want to clarify that before someone eats me alive in the comments saying that I'm really controlling or something like that. It's not the case at all. It sounds like I got a gun to her head. But anyways, good progress. Let's head home. Well, despite the weather being lovely outside, I'm going to go through the store, and I think I'm going to sit at my computer and play video games. I'm actually like really hooked into gaming at the moment. It's probably because I took so much time out of playing video games to like decorate this house and do the renovation stuff. So I've not had a chance to sit down and actually play games and hang out with my Twitch chat and stuff like that. So it's a day off, but today I'm gonna play some video games and chill out for a bit. So I'm gonna wrap up this video here. I hope you've enjoyed it and got a bit of an insight as to what we've got planned and coming up this year, with on top of everything else, like building the campsite, working on the farm, renovating the house, doing gardening, and potential like allotment plans and things like that, because we've got to, when the weather gets nice, we're going to be outside doing that. and finishing off like the kitchen and various bits and bobs around the house. Oh yeah, and we got the camping. I've talked so much today, so I'm going to stop rabbiting on and leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your day, whether it be the morning, evening, whatever it be. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you are new to my channel, you want to hit subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things above, find the subscribe button, hit subscribe. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers now, I think. If we can hit that by the end of this year, that would be amazing. But right, I need to stop talking. The last 2 vlogs have talked so much. I'm sorry I've made you watch these really long videos. We'll go back. Regular scheduled programming will resume with DIY and all that kind of good stuff in the next video. Peace, peace, much love. Bye-bye. Not good, but we're jumping on an opportunity. Which is why this wood effect tile is actually quite appealing, because you get the which is the same no matter which kind of style you'll go for.